Hello everyone, River here, and today we got our round 2 match for the UBC against the Ryan Plumber and the San Diego Charge Beams. If you don't know what my team exactly is, you can check the team builder, I will link it in the description. Also, if you're interested, go check out my opponent. Like I said, it's the Ryan Plumber. I'll have his channel in the description as well. But without further ado, let's just get into this. So the first thing we see here at team preview is he brought Cobalion, Mamoswine, Tornadus, Gurgeist, Latios, and Slowking. I was expecting most of those, but the Gurgeist, I have no idea what it does. I'm really unfamiliar with the Pokemon, so I would even have to check which variant it is, because I am aware of it having 4 variants, I believe. Anyway, against this team, like I said in team preview, he brought Mamoswine, so I had to lead with Hammerpong no matter what. He does end up leading with Mamoswine, which I'm really glad about, which was the main reason I brought Hammerpong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna rush the fake out first turn, just so we can get that chip damage off, make sure if he has Sash, it's gonna be useless, and then try to kill it with low kick unless he switches out. So the fake out obviously goes through without any issue because it's priority. And then he actually earthquakes my Sash. He was Joyous Scarf. I was so afraid of the Focus Sash that I had not even considered any other item at this point. So I'm glad it's down. No Stealth Rocks this game. I can be safe with Galvantula switches, Heatran, even though Heatran doesn't really bother it, and my other Sash user, the Weavile. So he brings in Tornadus, and I think I actually opt to go into Quagsire? I don't know, I actually think I go into Drudicon here, just to limit the damage of him and to keep M1 for later, and he turns out. So going into Drudicon was a good call for the rough skin damage, always nice, and he goes into Latios. I know, at this point I was calcing, and I know that the only thing Latios could kill me with is a Draco Meteor. But I did not want to risk him going for that, and I actually assumed he was going to go for that, so I opted for the Heatran switch because Heatran is the one that by far takes it the best because of the Assault Vest. So we do make that switch into Heatran, and he actually does drop the Draco. That's only 30%, we take those. His special attack is halved. I'm not afraid of this thing, and I'm just gonna Dark Pulse. But he actually carries Earthquake, and that is devastating for me. He has shown the Life Orb now by losing some HP twice through dealing damage. But we lose a Heatran, and even though Heatran was not exactly a win con this game, he actually had a really good matchup against everything except for the Tornadus. And even Tornadus was actually doable because I had Defense Investment. So losing the Heatran this early really is a downer. So we have to go back into Drudicon, knowing it's half special attack, we can live with Draco now, and I think I just want to get my Stealth Rocks off. He switches into Gurgeist, I believe? Yeah, he switches. Oh yeah, I was going for the Glare to slow down the Latios, so now we have slowed down Gurgeist, which I don't think actually matters whatsoever. So we have to go for Stealth Rocks now, just get some residual damage over time on all of his mons, and he actually subs. At this point, I actually bothered to check what are common sets for Gurgeist, and I realized Sub Leech is a thing on Gurgeist. And I figured I do not want to deal with that. So I tried to Dragon Tail him, hopefully breaking the sub, and he ends up missing the Leech Seed, which is just brilliant. The Dragon Tail does not kill the sub, so we go for the Earthquake. That should actually do a bit more damage, but it's still not enough. Drudicon, I at this point assumed it was max defense, max HP, and I just did jack all. He goes for the Giga Drain, which is nothing because Dragon typing. But the Leech Seed does start doing residual damage over time, so we swap into Galvantula because Galvantula has a really good matchup against it, and he gets full para. Okay, so that full paralysis actually may have saved him here because we have the Bug Buzz, which I don't think we're going to end up throwing out now because of reasons I'll explain in a moment, but because Bug Buzz hits through sub, if he had lost at 25 HP and felt confident enough to stay in, he would have gone down. I am really certain he would go down. We're going to see that sooner or later, I think, but now, because the Gurgai didn't get it up, I figured his best switch-ins were either the Tornadoes or the Cobalion. So we actually end up going for in power ground, hoping the Cobalion would come in, but it's Tornadoes, so it's not going to do anything. Because we are specs, we have to switch out, so we go back into Heatran, which is my switch in every single time for this thing. Hurricane is not a 2-hit KO, but he does get a confusion. So at this point, do I want to struggle with that? He goes for the U-turn, he takes rough skin damage again, and I think I do opt to go for Glare, just hoping to get something off, but he does end up going into this Gurgeist, and I do it myself in confusion. So overall that turn didn't really matter for me. We swap into Galvantula instantly. When I think he sets up his sub, he does, and I think we almost kill him here. Oh, it was a crit, that's why I thought it was so strong. But yeah, it hits through the sub, he gets full power. This one truly didn't matter, I think. But I don't think he would have done much outside of possibly lead seed me. So we just go for a second bug buzz. We take out the Gurgeist. We're up 5-4 now, and he goes into Tornadoes again. Instead of going into Heatran, we actually end up sacking Diddy, because I feel Diddy actually had nothing to do with bar possibly bringing a fake out, and I don't think that is actually my win con, so to say. And I feel that Heatran actually can do a lot against Cobalion and Tornadoes, especially Cobalion later. So we end up sacking Diddy Kong. He went for the knockoff, so I'm glad he didn't knock off any good items. So we go back into Spider-Man, and with the Specs Thunder, we take out Tornadoes because I assumed he was not Scarf. Only Scarf would have outsped me. So we go into the Latios. I think Spider-Man has a lot to do later in the game. So we go into Quagsire, not caring about what he's gonna do, and he ends up roosting. So he's back to full, and the Draco actually one-shots. I probably miscalculated at some point because I didn't think that would happen. But this gives me a free switch into Weavile, and as you can see now, the Draco does nothing because he's half health, half special attack. Even then, I assumed it would do more. I ended up checking my set, and it turned out all of the investment that should have been in speed actually was in special defense. So unlike week 1, we now have an unintentionally specially bulky Weavile. And we are able to take the Draco with ease and kill Latios with a knockoff. I actually went for knockoff assuming he would go into Slowking or Cobalion, and even though Cobalion would have been justified, I would have been fine with that because I would have got rid of this item. So now he goes into Cobalion, we actually go into Spider-Man, assuming Iron Head. Iron Head does come out, and even close combat would have been resisted. And now it's actually a play that I'm not certain about looking back, because we go for Thunder. I know it only has 3% chance to miss, but that's not the reason I'm not sure. The reason is that Thunder, even though it has a very small chance to miss, HP Ground is a 2-hit KO on Cobalion no matter what. I guess at the time I assumed Slowking was gonna come in because he knew about my HP Ground, so that's why we went for Thunder, because Thunder doesn't do more damage than HP Ground, but it's not a guaranteed hit. So we go for Thunder, it half healths the Slowking, and we just go for another one because another one, why care? So that's the 3rd kill for my Spider-Man already this game, and now it's a 3 versus 1 scenario in which I'm pretty sure he can't win. We opt to sack the Weavile because at this point I believe he is Scarfed, so I want to see what he would lock himself into. We go back in, we go for the Power Ground knowing it's a 2-hit KO, and we just see him go for the Iron Head again. And at this point, it's game over because I'm faster and in Power Ground kills. So it's a 2-0 victory for me. Spider-Man this time being the MVP, just like Heatran last week with 4 kills. And even though some things didn't go well on my side, the early death of Heatran and a miscalculation on the Quagsire, I did end up winning, and I think that's all that matters at the end. So with that, I'm glad to be 2-0 in the competition right now, top of the league, always a good thing to be. And just a quick announcement, even though, like I said, this is post-comms, and right now we are about to start week 4, as this is, well actually we're not about to start it, but it's soon to be happening in theory. But basically what's going to happen is that, because this was post-comm, I was supposed to do the next one live, but it ended up only recording the audio, so unless I suddenly get some editing skills, assume round 3 will also be post-game commentary. I am not certain about this, but I'll just look for feedback later on, like after week 5 most likely. Anyway, that's it. I'm signing out for now, and have a damn good one. sorry, I could not resist that cameo reference. Anyway, I'm out. Until next time.